Hi, everyone. Let me just make it to where I can see comments. I got up and ready for a hit today that was canceled due to technical issues. And so I thought, I've had a Red Bull. I'm going to sit down and talk to some of my friends about The Crown because Christo's not feeling well, so he couldn't do it. He's going to eventually. And we'll definitely have this chat on his Talk TV show on Sunday morning. But I've had a Red Bull and my hit was canceled. So I just thought I'd stumble in. Hi, Sandy. Good to see you. We were recording a New Year's Day special that's been postponed. So that's why I'm wearing this headband and I'm afraid to take it off because I don't want to mess up my hair. Hi, Ellen. So good to see you too. And Marcia, good to see you as well. So I just wanted to briefly stop in and say hi and catch up with you. Like I said, I enjoyed The Crown, the last few episodes of The Crown so much. I'm seeing all of these like male reviewers say that they absolutely hated it. And I'm like, well, I don't know if the Kate and William love story was for you, buddy. But I think I loved it so much because I was so wrapped up in the Kate and William storyline, minus Carol. That's garbage. Like I've always hated this, the rumors that she had plotted and planned. Is anybody really that, unless you have some sort of magic in your blood, I don't understand how anybody could plot and plan the marriage and securing a prince. So that's just wild to me, the whole Carol Middleton story. But I loved just watching the young William and Kate storyline so much, wrapped up so much in that joy that after sitting back and thinking about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, hi, Heather. Hi. Hello, Yvonne. Rebecca, good to see you. I was so wrapped up in that storyline and happy about it that I did not realize how bad they made Prince Harry look. I mean, really, The Crown season 6 made Harry look like such a lost soul. And keep in mind, these are Harry's bosses. They're all on the same network. And Harry had specifically said to Angela 11 years ago that he was going to make sure the crown never got to him. And here he is with the you-know-what Halloween costume, joking about doing drugs, just kind of looking so lost and reckless. And, there was something really charming and sympathetic about their portrayal of Princess Margaret as the spare. And they totally, that just did not exist with the Prince Harry character. Hi, Paula. Yeah, so Marcia says that was a rumor about Carol. And but I did see that rumor repeated in Tina Brown's book. A lot of the stuff that I see in The Crown season 6 feels like it's coming from Tina Brown's book. So I do think that that's where it originated. Dolores, thank you so much. Paula, do you think that this is Netflix's way of getting even? I don't know, but it did make me feel a bit of I don't think so. I think that Netflix is determined not to look like Spotify, a failure, like they've made a poor business decision. And so I do believe that this was Peter Morgan refusing to be influenced by Spare or influenced by Harry's relationship with Netflix, but so not a good reflection. I did not, the Harry and Meghan story, despite it becoming so toxic, there's got to the true story, which I don't think any of us know, because Harry and Meghan have told us 3 different versions of events of how they ended up together. There could potentially be interest in seeing that, but after getting to know this character in season 6 of Harry, I don't care what happens to him. I do not care. I didn't like him. He wasn't very likable. But I can't wait to see what happens with William and Catherine. But all these male reviewers are like, Kate and William's storyline was so boring. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm literally living vicariously right now through these 2 people on the screen. When they kiss and then the security guard walks up and William's angry because he interrupted, he's finally got the girl. I was like, oh no, I'm all emotional about it. Okay, I'm going to if you'll just give me a second, I'm going to read some of your comments because I am doing this solo. And again, the New Year headband, I was just supposed to be filming a New Year's Day special and they canceled on me. And I'm afraid to remove the headbands there too, because I just do not know what it's going to do to my hair. So Happy New Year to you. I really, truly mean it. The Crown has made the Prince and Princess of Wales rise in popularity. Oh, I totally believe that. To me, I think if new people are watching that aren't invested in kind of the tabloid gossip, that the Scobie gossip, I would describe it as. Is this the New Year's Day people? No. The Scobie gossip. Like if you're not invested in that and you're just watching this for fun, you love these two. You're rooting for these two, and you hope that they succeed. You hope that they, live happily ever after. Also from the guy that Netflix used his book. Was it Christopher Anderson? Let me just make sure I get your name. I'm so sorry. Is it Christopher Marcia? Is it Christopher Anderson? So Paula, you asked what I thought about the verdict today. Hi, Sandy. You're so sweet. Yes, Marcia, it was portrayed in a very sweet way. Well, what I think about the verdict today, honestly, first of all, whenever something like this comes down, I have a million people calling me, asking me to react to it if there's public interest in it. And I've only had CTV call me. So I feel like it's not that big of a story. And Harry is up against so many people right now, and he's fighting so many people right now. I imagined him walking up to a microphone to respond to it and just going, wait, which one is this? It's oversaturated. His fighting is oversaturated. People are not invested because they're too confused. And you have to really, I don't know, like you have to really stay on top of things to understand who he's going to. You have to really stay on. Oh my gosh, Paula, what are you doing? Did I hear Pierce Morgan's response? Yes. Paula, do you think I can play it on here? Because it was great. Pierce Morgan is so great. Here's what I also want to say about privacy. I also think people are uninterested in this because we have evolved as a society, and every single person in this chat room right now, your privacy has been invaded by a social media network. We're vaguely aware of it. We don't know to the extent how much of our information is out there, really. We don't, if you like a certain news outlet on Facebook, there is a company out there that knows that you like this news outlet, so you're likely going to vote in one direction or another. We have all had our privacy invaded, and to an extent that I don't think we can even comprehend. We just know that more information about ourselves is out there than we're comfortable with. So I'm sorry that your phone was hacked, but there are elements of invasions of privacy that we're all experiencing right now today. I mean, even on Facebook, I use a fake name, and I'm just like so worried. I've had my Facebook terminate. My name was Mildred Kenkles when they terminated my Facebook page, but I was just like, what is Facebook selling about me? What do they know about me? Am I on some sort of list because I watch certain news outlets or because I like certain stories? It's all very concerning. So as far as public interest is concerned, yeah, I think that Harry is on a long list of people that might have had their phones, hacked. That's the worst. Journalistic integrity at an all-time low. Journalistic integrity at an all-time low. But we can all relate to it in some way, shape, or form because we don't know how much of our privacy has been invaded through social media, through smartphones. And so we're kind of like, us too. Paula's over here teaching me Paula teaches me things about YouTube all the time. Okay, let me just jump back into the comments. Paula, I'm going to have to figure out how to do that, but I love that idea. Hi, Dr. Mock. Good to see you. Doctor. Marcia, I wish I knew what book you were talking about. Is it Robert Lacey's or is it Christopher Anderson's? Because Robert Lacey is often consulted for the crown. I also know Andrew Morton was consulted on the crown the last season. So Paula wants me to play the video. I hate that you guys are having to like watch me learn how to use technology. There's nothing more embarrassing. I wish is it, and then if I accidentally show you the back of my screen, it's a picture of London. But I'm one of those people that have 90 small icons on my desktop, and you're going to judge me. And I can't take that right now. I'm already wearing a headband prematurely. Oh my gosh. It's Megan like Reagan. That's very smart. I like that. I like that that's your name. Oh my gosh, Susan is making holiday food in the kitchen while watching me from Austin, Texas. Susan, did you know that that's where I was born? All right, Marcia's trying to find it. So I wish I could find it. I wonder if I play this, Paula, do I just share my screen? If I had a video, share screen. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Hold on. Pierce Morgan Instagram. I wanted to comment on it too, but he wouldn't let us comment on it. I think he only allows people that follow him to comment on this video. Pierce, somebody want to give you a hug or a shout out. Let me try this. I'm trying this new thing. Come on. Okay, this is getting embarrassing because I don't know how to do it. Okay, so Dr. Mock asked, another Texan. Dr. Mock asked, don't you love the way that the Crown portrayed William and Catherine so positively and H as little as possible and then rather negatively? I did think that they were, I was concerned because I was concerned that they were going to be made fun of. Also, there was such a yo-yo in their relationship because it was such a long timeline that I was afraid that they would try to squish it down and it could look toxic with the breaking up and the making up. But it wasn't toxic. It was just they dated for so long. And honestly, I believe William's problem was, and it's not a problem, he just has his head on his shoulders, unlike you know who, was that he wanted to make sure that Catherine was the right girl because he wasn't going to put her through the chaos that his mother experienced if she wasn't the one. He grew up in kind of a dysfunctional world when it came to marriage. And I remember reading that his mother told him specifically, like, I want you to find love like your father and Camila, because she envied that his father would risk everything to be with his mistress. And so I think that William's hesitation was just wanting to make sure that she was the right one and wanting to make sure that if he was going to drag her through this really chaotic world, and she's experienced horrible things. Don't forget that in the Netflix documentary that Harry and Meghan produced, they had to use video of Catherine being harassed by the paparazzi and Harry's mother because so little, if any, existed of his wife actually being harassed by paparazzi. So I think that William just has his head on his shoulders and wanted to make sure she was the right one and didn't want to embarrass her, didn't want to stain her reputation. And I totally get it. I totally understand why they waited so long to get married. And I respect that decision. And so I was glad that the Crown kind of just ignored the ups and downs and just showed us how they fell in love, and that was it. And we didn't have to see kind of the other stuff that everybody brings up around their wedding anniversary. Oh my gosh, Paula, you're so sweet. William did choose wisely. Wow, I did not. Paula's asking if I've heard about Meghan trying to secure a White House dinner invite. I have not heard that. I'll have to look into that. It wouldn't surprise me. But are you reading on page 6 today where Harry and Meghan's Christmas gift to the king is reconciliation. And then they've got this hilarious, like, moving photo of them, like, popping out of packages. I cannot imagine that anybody would consider that a gift. That's a curse at this point in time. Distance, distance, distance is likely the best possible thing that the British royal family could do when it comes to Harry and Meghan. It's like, tell me if I'm wrong, but every holiday season for the last few years, it's like Harry and Meghan do something or involved in some way with trying to wreak havoc on the royal family. It's the end of the year. Everybody just wants to put on fluffy socks and curl up in front of the fire with their dogs, listening to Christmas music and eating sugar. And instead, the royals are dodging bombs from the Sussex camp. Last year, it was The Crown, but it was also, I think, the Netflix docu-series. So it was like 6 hours of chaos. And then this year, it's Endgame. It's like, can the royal family just not catch a break? Do I think that Charles would give in? I honestly think that in the future he might, but right now, Harry and Meghan, polling-wise, are so polarizing. Statistically, they're very unliked, and the UK dislikes them so much, while Charles is having a surge in popularity. And I think it could really negatively affect the family if they were to bring them back into the fold or show them any kindness right now. I think people are just done. I mean, it's my job to report on them, and so I do. And a lot of the comments I see under the videos are, could you please stop talking about them? It's like people want a news purge. So can you imagine if they were to go over there and visit with the family? It would be an explosion of headlines, and it would really make people, I think, resent the royal family. Allison, I still need to talk to you. Allison has some gossip for me. She's in the chat right now. I think you're the best, Allison. Allison says she has some gossip for me, and I just have not been able to talk to her. But she says she's got some deets about something that I need to hear, and I can't wait. I can't wait when we get together and talk about it. So Lizzie says she feels like Harry's lost. He is married to a broken compass. I do believe that he's lost. He definitely seems so lost on the crown. Not any really redeemable qualities. Somebody was like, oh, but you see his funnier side. You see that he's cheeky. And I just thought, well, it kind of, in the scenes where I think that they're referring to, where he's got prophylactics, I didn't think it was funny. I was like, kind of gross, kind of inappropriate. Respect your elders. Let's see. Oh my goodness. So good to see all of you. She is, okay, Ziggy says she is on the C list for the White House dinner invite. I don't know. I think that the White House will stay away from her because I don't know if that's the positive attention that they're looking for right now. That's right. Ziggy says that William and Catherine were a lot younger. So we were all fixated on whether or not they were going to get married or not. But in reality, they were so young. They needed to experience life. Catherine needed to go out on her own and see what she was capable of. Yes. Veronica seems like Netflix focused on positive with William and Kate and made Harry look like a rebel. I mean, they didn't make him look like one. I think that's what he is. I think that's just, we need to accept that that's what he is. They still haven't released their Christmas card. Marsha, I can't wait to see how out of focus Harry and the kids are, accompanied by a crystal clear HD Meghan. I don't know. Did they release one last year? I am literally going to cry over the crystal clear HD Meghan thing. That is so funny. I'm surprised they haven't released it either, unless they think that the glossy Archewell video was the replacement for it. But that in no way compared to Catherine's video of the kids literally piling out of the car to play Santa. That was the cutest thing ever. And what does Louis say? I think he says something like, oh, this is a big one. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. I would definitely babysit for free all day, every day. I am kind of concerned that I'm not concerned. I'm just surprised, I should say, that they haven't released a card. But I really can't remember. They've become, after Netflix, they became shockingly, after Netflix and they gave us all this access to new pictures and baby video, they have been certainly all, holed up in their Montecito mansion. I think that's a really good point. I also think when they broke up, Kate passed any test because she didn't do a tell-all interview or a book. And they mentioned that kind of in The Crown when Charles asks the Queen for permission to marry Camilla. He's like, she never talks. She never, after all of these years, she's protected the family. She's protected the monarchy out of respect for you. And Catherine was the exact same way. Okay, so yes. Okay, so now, there was a picture of them last year. It's just unforgettable. Apparently, just unforgettable. Joyful season card. Oh no, please don't use AI. I did use a Santa AI to ask if Harry and Meghan were on the naughty or nice list on Talk TV today, and they were on the naughty list. Wasn't shocked. I don't know why Oprah didn't invite her to the premiere. Maybe she did. Paula's asking about this. Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple of events that Meghan was not invited to. I messaged Paula about one of them a couple of weeks ago because it was George Clooney's wife, and it was a group of real charity powerhouses. And I said to Paula, Meghan's trying to be here. I wonder where her invite went. Ellen says, unfortunate, Harry and Meghan have made it impossible for the royal family to bring them back. It has been treason on Harry and Meghan's part. So sad all the way around. What a strange life happening. I mean, I think that all the time. Why did they go so extreme? And for what? It's not even like they've won. Well, Meghan won plenty of awards for her podcast that if it was really that great, there's no way Spotify would have canceled it. Those were definitely conveniently, those were relationships developed through a publicist. That's how she managed to acquire all of those trophies. But it's not even like the content won awards and people were floored by it. We're finding out for the first time because Netflix never reveals their numbers. And for some reason, they decided to come, probably because they were proud of their best numbers. Netflix decided to reveal their streaming numbers. And Harry and Meghan didn't even make the top 200 and they were, at the time, it was branded like the greatest docuseries ever for Netflix. It's strategically, like everyone was saying, they had done the best marketing for it. And I mean, PR ways, we were all talking about it. So they did win there, but as far as viewing numbers and people sitting down and watching the thing all the way through or multiple times, no, that didn't happen. The way somebody will like watch Suits again, a third or fourth time. Also Meghan Markle. But the mystery surrounding those numbers, but the hype that Netflix gave it, like the best docuseries, the highest streaming numbers, just those kind of vague talking points that they gave at the time of the launch, created new opportunities for Harry and Meghan around that time, because people believed that they were producing content that people wanted to watch, despite it being generally around just destroying the royal family. And now we know that it was not as necessarily as successful as Netflix considered it or tried to tell us it was. There was clearly a spin to it. And you wonder if anybody's sitting back regretting maybe meeting with them or regretting putting ideas in front of them. Like, are these people able to actually execute anything? Ziggy said that was funny. I think you're probably laughing about Meghan Clear in HD, because I cried. Yes, it was Melinda Gates, Amal Clooney, and Michelle Obama. Thank you so much, Marie. Michelle says, I don't think Meghan will ever leave Harry. she has no commercial value away from him. He certainly is her value. I agree there that he is what makes her special today. How are they getting all these invites to things? Is their management team begging for invites? I don't think they are getting invited to a lot of things. Even that event we're hearing about now, that Meghan did a private Netflix screening at a Montecito home. It was at a home. Like that's real exclusive. So exclusive that like I highly doubt there were 20 people there. So I don't think that they are getting invited to a lot of things. No, hi, Christina. Okay, so Paula's saying that she doesn't think that they will ever get the Meet Me at the Lake movie out. That's interesting. I think the Meet Me at the Lake movie is the only place where Meghan's agency might be able to pull some strings, because Meghan's agency likely already represents good scriptwriters that need work right now because we're just coming out of a strike. And Meghan's agency also represents new talent, up and coming talent, and legitimate talent. So William Morris Endeavor could say, we're going to help you out and give you this, this up and coming, this person that has a lot of Instagram followers to be in this movie, or we're going to give you some quality script writers. Now, what's in it for them? They can save face. And it doesn't look like Meghan's had such a terrible, she signed with them at the beginning of this year, earlier this year, and we haven't heard them announce or launch anything. So this would make them look like they actually accomplished something for her. But that is really where I think her agency could help her. In this case, it's Meet Me at the Lake. They could get the script writers. They probably represent great directors. They probably represent other producers that could make this movie look better or sound better or open it up to a newer audience. So we'll see if they collaborate there, because if they collaborate there, then at least we know what they've been doing for the last few months, because a lot of us are scratching our heads going, what is it that you do? What have you done? What are you guys doing? Because we have heard through like crazydaysandnights.net and actually seen pictures on social media, Meghan taking meetings within hotels that are near her agency, that she was staying in some of those hotels near her agency so she could work on something. What is it? We're waiting to see. Oh my God. Selena saying Meghan's next book is titled The Parking Lot. I think that's in reference to the fact that Meghan is always like carefully packed in parking lots so that there's like no one else in the picture. Paula, Bill Simmons was brutal, and that's probably what Pierce is trying to have another moment like that. So Bossy's mom says, looking at the card, there's no Archewell audio like last year. I guess no more podcasts for them. Interesting, Bossy's mom, because we have talked over the last few months about those stories circulating that Audible, that's Jeff Bezos, Audible is Jeff Bezos' podcasting company. And is Audible also just a books? Because I subscribe, I pay for Audible, so I should know. But Audible was there were rumors that Audible was talking to Meghan about bringing her over and having her do archetypes over there. Rumors that I've said from day one I didn't believe. I felt like this was a story that was leaked so that Audible would go, wow, there's interest here. Let's bring her on over. But I don't see any value in that. If I were Harry and Meghan, I would create my own platform, and I would just produce content the way I do myself, because they could keep all the money or they could donate all the money. They could go subscription based. But I didn't believe for a second that, I don't think that they want to do podcasting. I think that was like, okay, sure, we'll do it because everybody wants to work with us because we're the Royal Rebels and there's a lot of interest. But I don't think they enjoy doing it. Even Bill Simmons said that Harry had The ideas he had were unrealistic and crazy and terrible, but Harry has little to no work ethic. So to execute some of the things he wanted to do, you're going to need a team of like 900 people that have no sleep schedule and unrealistic expectations themselves. They're shameless. You're going to need a huge shameless team that don't care about sleep and that are just will knock on someone's door like Trump or Putin and beg for them to do Prince Harry's podcast. Also, Prince Harry was trying to get people on his podcast that he like openly criticized. Didn't he make fun of Donald Trump too? Well, first of all, they refused to meet him when he came to meet with the Queen. But second of all, like, I think he made fun of him when he thought he was talking to Greta Thunberg on the phone, but he was actually talking to YouTube pranksters. So it's like, have some realistic expectations, buddy. Some of these people aren't going to pick up the phone for you. Hi, Eve. Ziggy asks, what royal do I think will have the next book? I mean, maybe Prince Andrew trying to redeem himself. Hopefully somebody goes, don't do that. Please don't do that. Please, please. I'm sorry. I'm just like catching up on some of your comments. Krista says, are you ever going on Megyn Kelly's show? I don't know. I've never had the opportunity, but I love Megyn. I think she's beautiful. So thank you for the recommendation. If they are smart, she will let the people who know what they are doing produce the entire thing and get out of her own way. Yeah, I agree because we saw that there were heads butting during Harry and Meghan's Netflix docuseries. They went through multiple producers, and then Meghan went to Variety and said she didn't necessarily endorse it, which is not a great look. I mean, I'm sure Netflix did a hard eye roll when they opened up Variety magazine and saw that. That is not a good look. So obviously she has, obviously it is my personal opinion that she has control issues and wants things to be done her way, start to finish. And there's clashing when that doesn't happen. Kimberly, good to see you. Paula, I think you're absolutely right. I think she's obviously very difficult to collaborate with in all things. I also I thought that the story, sorry to go off topic, and I am going to read, Meet Me at the Lake sounds awful. I'm going to read all of your comments, and then I'm sorry. Wait, they do have a holiday card? Oh my gosh, you guys are going to make me go on Twitter for this? Could somebody just link me in the chat? I do not want to see it. I do not want to have to go on X. People are so mean onto me on there. Okay. The story about her female executive making over 50% less than her top male executive at Archewell, the charity, blows my mind because do you remember when it was the Fab Four sitting on the stage, the panel, and they all had, their scripted topics that they were going to go over. And it's, the normal royal focuses like homeless and mental health. I mean, just there are really some core values and some core initiatives that William, Harry, and Catherine had become their focus. And it's smart to do that because then you become kind of an expert in the field and you aren't caught off guard when somebody asks you a question. You know your stuff. So they're sitting up there. And I wonder if this is when lip gloss gate happened, but they're sitting on this panel and all of a sudden Meghan brings up Time's Up, which is a very unrelated, like in the UK, why are people going to want to break down and have a conversation about actors in Hollywood, female actors in Hollywood not getting paid the same amount as male actors? I mean, it's a good cause. Bizarrely, it was taken up by a bunch of like James Franco and I think Armie Hammer wearing Time's Up pins. That didn't age well. But she brings this up, and we heard later on behind the scenes that there was, kind of some drama behind that because people were like, what is she doing? Like, we have a focus. Let's focus on these core topics. And then we find out that she's Time's Up, yet in her own charity, she's not paying a woman with 24 years of professional experience the same as the guy with 16 years of experience. Doesn't it blow your mind? Like, do they not think that people are going to do their research here? I just don't. Oh my gosh, I'm sitting here ranting. I'm so in my Happy New Year headband. Somebody get me a Christmas Valium. Just kidding. Okay. Yeah. Paula says that NT thinks Omid will write a book trashing her. I don't think that he'll just be trashing her. I think Omid's only possibility to save his, oh my gosh, are you from Arkansas, Linda? I used to live in Hot Springs. I lived there for a year. Good to see you, girlfriend. I think that the only way Omid can save his career is by writing an anti-Harry and Meghan book. Because, and I mean credibility wise, because obviously the core audience that he's cultivated through his Harry and Meghan coverage don't care about him enough to buy his book. 6,000 copies sold in the UK the first week, 9,000 copies sold in the United States in the first week. That's not enough to survive. That's not enough to have a publisher interested in you for the next book. And so I do think that the only way for him to survive and to keep people interested in him would be to turn on them and to write a book that's heavily critical of them. But because he doesn't have any contacts when it allegedly, in my opinion, when it comes to directly to the royal family. I mean, just proof in general is the fact that he's quoting TikTokers about salacious rumors involving the Prince of Wales. Like, I'm sorry if I don't believe random girls sitting in like Minneapolis or Ohio that are just ranting on TikTok about what's going on with the Prince of Wales below the belt. Sorry, what credibility is there? Omid. Oh my goodness, you guys are so bad. They turn up uninvited, says Kathy. You are so bad. Where is Omid? Omid is here. Omid is here in LA. I don't think he's very liked in the UK. I don't think he's very liked in London. And I don't know what he thinks he's going to do here, because he can't make money off of Harry and Meghan 24/7 here in the States. He was previously an entertainment reporter, so maybe maybe he wants to become a face of like a entertainment personality. That's a big question mark, but I don't understand what else they could do. Oh, that's all? It's just a picture from Invictus? That's their card? Unimpressed. Thank you, though, Lizzie. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, I'm just skimming through your comments. Thank you so much. Tricky Tone canceled Netflix after the Oprah, and so Tricky Tone canceled her Netflix account after the Oprah interview. So she's feeling a little bit lost as she hasn't watched The Crown and she has no intention to. I've got to say, I don't understand why a monarchist would pay Netflix to fund H&M. Well, Tricky Tone, what we were saying is that this season of Netflix is not particularly kind to Harry. And you didn't hear this from me, but I use someone else's account, okay? They might have cracked down on that password sharing, but there's a rebel right here. But yeah, they weren't necessarily kind to Prince Harry. I thought that they were sympathetic towards him, but they don't make him look like a likable person that's on the right track that ever finds the light at the end of the tunnel. They make him look like a completely lost and resentful and angry human being. Oh, Bossy's mom, thank you for the compliments. I love you too. I don't know what I just did. But Sandra, shout out to you. They don't want to work to make money. They just want to use their mouth. I really have their work ethic is entirely questionable. Yeah, Harry and Meghan did try to copy what the Obamas were doing. I do think, though, that the Obamas listened to the people around them more. I think Meghan, because she had an entertainment background, wanted to have a little more say in how everything was executed, and it wasn't executed as well as it could have been. Oh, wow. So I think Trump may talk to them because he allows access from authors who haven't written favorable things about him before. I mean, Trump knows that the headlines would be crazy. He knows that like everybody would be talking about that. So that's a very good point. However, he's in a very difficult spot right now. So I don't know if he would do it today, but he certainly might do it 2 years from now. Susan's going to London in June for 2 weeks. Oh, I'm so excited for you. I love to stay at this hotel, but there are mice there. And in London, I love this cute little boutique hotel I found. And one day I was getting up and getting ready for the morning show on GB News. And I always call my parents because it's, they're getting ready for bed as I'm waking up at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to start doing my hair and makeup to go to do the morning shows. And so I'm like doing my hair and makeup on the mattress. I have some, great British reality show on mute on my screen, and I hear rustling in the trash can. And I say to my Mom, I think there's a rodent in here. Like, I'm hearing noises from the other side of the room. And I'm sorry, but this hotel is so cute. It's so cute. I don't care if there's mice. I've stayed there since Mousegate. And so sorry, I just knocked my mic. I throw a water bottle across the room and I hit the trash can. I think this was for the king's coronation. Yes, it was. So I throw an empty water bottle on in the corner where there's a trash can, and I'm on the phone with my mom, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and it's quiet outside, and the mouse jumps out of the trash can and I start screaming bloody murder. I know that everybody on my floor thought that something indecent had happened at around 3 a.m., 3:30. And so my mom starts just laughing. She says she peed her pants. She was laughing so hard. And she's like, I hear her repeating everything to my father. Like, there's a mouse in her room. There's a mouse. So I call the front desk. This is when like everybody's going to phase out because they're like, I don't care about this girl's personal life. I call the front desk and I'm like, please come get the mouse out of my room. I'm shaking on the phone, on the mattress still, half face done, in my Spanx and in my just under things. And so they come upstairs because they're going to try to get the mouse out. All happening during the 3 a.m. hour. I've got to get to GB News. I've got to get to Buckingham Palace, which is down the street, but still, like, you have to go through so much security. And I'm in my underwear. And so he comes and knocks on the door. I've got the chain on the door. And so I have to realize I have to go from the mattress to the door somehow to take the chain off to let him in. And I am petrified of this mouse. So I just sing and like scream the whole time I walk from the mattress to the door because I want to scare the mouse so it doesn't come at me. It 100% comes at me as I take the chain off. The guy comes in and he's like, I'm so sorry. This has never happened before. And he yells at me for sleeping with my window open. But in June, it's kind of warm and not all of them have air conditioning in the hotels there. And so he's like, well, you shouldn't have slept with your window open. I'm on like the 4th floor. I didn't realize mice could climb so high and crawl through my window. And so he's like, well, you shouldn't have slept with your window open. This never happens. This has never happened before. And so he collects the garbage that I think the mouse is in. My brother is with me at the time. He's in another room. I'm calling him desperately, trying to help him, trying to get him to help me collect like all of my things because I'm going to move to another room. He slept through it. God bless. But then, so I go back for my next visit. It's fun. It's a funny story. I go back for my next visit. I stay at the same hotel because I love this hotel. Okay. And I get there like day one. I've got my bag over my shoulder and I'm waiting for the elevator to go down after I put some of my stuff up. And I see another mouse. And I'm like, they lied. They lied to me. This has happened before. This is a mouse hotel. And that's okay because I love it. That's the end of my rant. So Susan, let me know if you find any mouse-free hotels. That would be great. It could be a live to lead situation for their Meet Me at the Lake project. Well, Marcia, live to lead. Exactly right. The content already existed. They just sat down and shot some confessionals. They just kind of narrated it. And some of the people afterwards came out to say, like, look, we had no idea they were going to be associated with it. So Meet Me at the Lake is a book that already exists. And actually what NT was telling me was that was not even that author's best selling book. Like she has more popular books. But Meet Me at the Lake exists. The story is already out there. They might just barely touch it. Oh my gosh, Michelle's telling me to Google the Christmas card. I just don't have the patience. Have you noticed no show? Oh, I don't know what that seems. I don't know what that means. Sorry. Yes, it's just an Invictus picture. It's nothing original. We like original stuff. That's why you look forward to the Wales Christmas cards, because you know you're going to, even if there's a missing middle finger, you know it's going to be new content, okay? I don't need that other middle finger. I don't need it. But didn't she have people do the podcast? It didn't work. Ooh, Melissa. That's a really good point, because she had 17 producers at least. 17 producers. It's just a pic of them clapping. Oh, that's so cringe. Omid has nothing to lose, says Marsha. He'll release. I'm so sorry. I just went off on my mouse tangent and there's so many comments I need. Don't bother looking up. It's just a photo in the green. Oh, that picture. Everybody uses that picture. It's a flattering picture. No, I mean, that's not. We care about new content. You should write a book about your cool experiences. A mouse in a hotel room is my trauma, Paula. I don't want other people to have to experience that. The photo that appears on People magazine is credited to the Archewell Foundation, so it must be the official one. I would say so. Hi from Houston. Hi, Deborah. Love Texas. Okay, so that's a good question. Did Megan get the woman who wrote about her in the cut fired? So I'm just to clarify, I think that was a freelance reporter that was so traumatized by the backlash of that interview. First of all, I do believe that Megan complained about it, or somebody from the team complained about it, because right after it came out, the freelance reporter went off the grid. She was like, I'm going to go on a trip. I just need to get away. I just need to get away. I'd have to check to see if she's written for the cut since, but Megan did complain to Variety about the cut interview as well. So aside from the public backlash, I think that the cut might have said something to her and said that Megan was unhappy with the piece. She did go, I don't think she was an employee for the cut. And what's so wild is I actually think that Megan had requested her to write the piece. Classic, them being unhappy. I don't think she was fired. I think she was a freelancer. So, sometimes you work for them, sometimes you don't. I'd have to check to see if she's written for them since. I know she was unhappy after the piece came out because she voiced it on X. She voiced it on Twitter and said it was just too much. It was crazy. And she was going on a long trip or something. And then Megan did make a couple of comments to Variety about how she was too trusting with the cut journalist. I mean, no, I think I would tell a complete stranger that the palm trees in my backyard are holding hands. That's cool. So Terry says that they think that Harry and Meghan are not allowing the children to be seen in order to reinforce the security issue with the family. That's a good point. They can say, we are just so concerned about their safety that we don't, and that's fine. I don't need to see them. But it is clearly something that the Prince and Princess of Wales publicly, PR-wise, they ingratiate themselves. We just love their family more when we're invested in their family more, because we get to see them as a family and they're really charming. So it's just, they have the upper hand. Endgame books that sold were likely journalists and news commentators. Yeah, probably, Deborah, but I didn't buy a copy, just so you know. Question, do you think the Crown actually did a good job of balancing humanizing our current primary royal family while setting out their good people driven by service? And I loved Queen Camilla. Oh yeah, Queen Camilla in The Crown was excellent. Really did a great job of reflecting the fact that Camilla in real life is the king's stability, voice of reason, just the calming presence in his life that kind of humbles him on a regular basis. I really agree. There is something that is beneficial a little bit about humanizing current members of the British royal family, working members of the British royal family. You know, they're like more likable, yes, and relatable, yes, but there's also a risk to it because we are supposed to be enamored with them, and we're also supposed to just really like there's the mystery that surrounds them is so important to the longevity of everything. That was such a lazy way to end that sentence. The mystery surrounding them is important to the longevity of the monarchy. And so while I watch it and I do feel like I'm watching real people and I eat it up and I enjoy it, I also see the risks in making them look too normal. Like when William sees the cover of all the newspapers the day after Harry wears the Halloween costume and he curses, I thought that's exactly how I would imagine the next day to go, seeing that newspaper cover and cursing. But also when you feel like you're there, it takes a little bit of, you know, the mystique away, and it's important that they maintain that. Oh my gosh, so funny. Likely he will be on a reality show like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Eamon Holmes suggested that the other day. I still think that they might do something with the Kardashians. Maybe I just wanted to be the first to say it, but I still think that they'll do something with the Kardashians, Harry and Meghan. Omid, did he take private jets back to England last week to lie for 3 or so days, then come back to the US? Seemingly lawyers got to him and then he confessed. I don't know what happened. I don't think he's taking private jets all the time. I'd be curious if he's capable of affording that. Like what's going on? Because Richard Eden in the Daily Mail did an interesting story about his finances not too long ago. Why I really don't know what happened. Why did he lie for so? Why wouldn't you just say up at the very beginning, instead of saying like I didn't write that I never wrote that? Why wouldn't you just say maybe they got their hands on an older version of my book? Maybe they didn't. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know that it would be so much more, I mean, believable. I don't know. Why wouldn't it looks like a PR stunt with all of the lying and then the fessing up at the end. It just looks like a PR stunt. It looks like it appears like it was done intentionally to build interest in a book that really no one cared about because everybody's kind of tired of the Harry and Meghan version of events. So I don't know if lawyers got to him or if his agent or publisher pressured him to come out and say something else to save their backs. I really don't know. I know I keep seeing other people use a different name about who Omid's contact was. I don't know who Omid's contact was, but there are certain people that are getting paid a significant amount of money to work at a charity that we can't determine what they do. Yeah, Sterling says Netflix checkmated Harry with The Crown. He's portrayed as a loser. I do believe that you're right. Any plans this weekend? Hi, Tiffany. I will be doing Mark Dolan Saturday and Christo Sunday. And you've got to check out. Oh, hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm just checking on some of these. Thank you so much. Just scrolling down. I cannot believe how many comments have happened since my mouse story. I'm so sorry. That took so long. They should have comped my room. They didn't comp my room after the mouse experience. You know what they did? They gave me free breakfast. And no hate, but after you've witnessed a small mouse in a hotel, are you like that comfortable with eating their buffet? Are you that comfortable walking into the breakfast buffet because you're like, well, what's been touching these hash browns? Elizabeth says mice are more afraid of people. No need to be afraid. I think you're right. Rats I know will come up through the toilets. Marcia, chill. You're stressing me out. Oh my goodness, yes. So Sandy says, has anyone seen the Behind the Diary? I spent the day behind the scenes with Prince William. That's a great. Oh, Yvonne, thank you so much for the soup. I don't know what a super sticker is, but God bless you. Thank you. Behind the Diary, I spent the day with Prince William about Homeward Charities. I'm surprised we don't talk about that more. Maybe, Sandy, it's because YouTube copyrights. Maybe the news channels are afraid to post clips of it, but that was first of all, a great execution by William's team to see the value in that. But second of all, just a beautiful display of like humility and, just seeing William determined, humble. Again, there's that fine line of giving people too much access to you, but I thought that was done really well. Bring safe mousetraps. That would not be the weirdest thing in my suitcase. When I go to London, I bring multiple fans. Like, I have one right here. I always, in case you wonder, I buy these on Amazon and I bring these with me because it gets so warm in the rooms. And I just like to have air like circulating constantly. So if you're an American going to London and you are worried about the AC situation, these are on Amazon. They're just like little USB fans, and I have a USB converter plug, and that's what I sleep with when I'm in there. So I'm like one on each side because I'm drama. Wow, Bonnie says, I never heard of Meghan had to Google her. I think that's a lot of people. I think that's a lot of people met Meghan for the first time through her relationship with Harry. Peppermint oils is a good way, Beth says, to avoid mice in my hotel room. And that is how Beth keeps a mouse-free house. And I learned something new every day. Or to bring my cat. That's a really great piece of advice. I would love to bring my animals. Christine says, I need an assistant. Wouldn't that be nice? I just need somebody to sleep for me, because I don't get to do a lot of that. Paula. Thank you so much, Jamie Ann. So much talk about the Christmas card. Cheers to Pierce Morgan. I feel like, thank you so much for catching my rant. I feel like I asked my hubby to get me that great sweater you just got. Oh, the Union Jack one. Is it not so cute? Amy, I hope that he gets you that Union Jack sweater. Also, if you, Fraser says the name on the podcast. So if you can't get it at Kitson, because they didn't have my size, I had to buy one smaller and it worked. But also just look up the designer if they don't have the size on Kitson, because after our podcast episode, I saw a lot of you guys buying that up. I was like, there goes my size, but the medium fit fine. Okay, I'm just said it was a coincidence. Rebecca English from the Daily Mail said it was a coincidence that Archewell and Meghan released their impact videos after the Wales video with the kids. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Rebecca English spends a very long time saying nice things about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Is Rebecca English also the person that was giving us the play-by-play on what Meghan was wearing at Invictus? Because that was, whoever did that, that was driving me crazy. Okay. Did you like Piers Morgan's response to Harry's lawyer today? What do you think Harry's feelings will be like? And how do you think Omid would feel after being mentioned in his speech? I think Omid's ultimate objective is fame. So I think that he just sits back and glows during all of this chaos. I truly feel that way. When we talk about how this book all unfolded and how it only sold a certain amount of copies, I think that Omid wants to be something on his own. I think he's using Harry and Meghan to get there, but I don't know what he wants. Does he just want to be a socialite? Or does he just want to be like an Instagram influencer? Maybe. Truly, that could be all it is. Does he just want to be famous? Or does he want to host his own show in America? If so, I don't think there's enough interest for there to be a royal show, and I don't think that he's going to have access to real royalty. So it would have to be entertainment, which he's done in the past. I could not tell you. I'm wildly surprised by all of this. Kathy says Pierce's response was banging. Revenge, I thought, good read. Revenge was great. I think I've read Revenge twice. Also, if you liked Revenge, you'll definitely like Valentine Lowe's book, because Valentine Lowe is able to give us a little bit more. Maybe Harry won't do anything with the Kardashians, awesome diva, but I think Meghan would. She could partner with Kim on prison reform or something like that. Valentine Lowe is able to give us a little bit more description and detail about some of the bullying allegations. Revenge is great, and but Valentine Lowe has had clearly, and Tom Quinn has a lot of stories about what it was like to work with Harry and Meghan as well. I think he's got a new book out, so I've got to check. He's on a really old episode of my podcast, but he can talk about the way people felt that worked for Harry and Meghan. Valentine Lowe goes into some specifics. Revenge is just kind of like a great timeline of the chaos. But if you are looking for real details around what it was like for that very short amount of time that Harry and Meghan were working members of the royal family, those are some good details, some great books with details in them. And remember, I think it's Valentine Lowe that revealed, maybe Tom Bower, but I think it's Valentine Lowe that revealed that Meghan approached, as Harry's girlfriend, just his girlfriend, she approached one of his employees and said, well, I'm going to be your boss one day, when she was trying to be assertive and get something done. Like, oh my gosh, who has the audacity? Not me. I would just be tiptoeing around that place like, please like me. Please like me. Okay, okay, so awesome, Kinsey, call it what it is. In-game being printed with the names in the Dutch version is I do think is a PR stunt. I really just don't, because also awesome diva, if you keep in mind that the place where those books were printed, only 5,000 copies were printed. That's easy to, let's be honest, that's a lot of trees. But if only 6,000 copies were sold in the UK, 9,000 in the United States, like that, I think that was probably one of the smallest prints for that book. So, but I do believe that the people that transcribed the book are completely innocent, because the look of absolute despair on their faces when they were approached by the Daily Mail, it was horrible. They looked so fragile, and they looked so distraught over what they were being accused of doing and of being involved in any of this. And I truly believe that they are innocent. And honestly, the publisher said that they did not feel like Omid's explanation was honest, and that they did not feel like Omid's explanation was honest, and they felt like they did not see themselves in his reaction to, they did not see themselves in his explanation of what took place in the Eye when Omid finally broke down and wrote that piece for the Eye newspaper. Meghan did what he did to make Meghan not look guilty. It was her way of stopping Harry and the King from making up. Oh, Cheryl. This is Cheryl's opinion. You dropped that bomb, Cheryl. I think this is the one time Harry wasn't involved. Oh, Cheryl D. Living for this take. Let Kim put Harry in a pair of Skims. Sandra, that is a nightmare that that's a visual that I'll never get back. And I resent you for that. But I also like your sense of humor. Oh, Marcia says mice carry tons of diseases. Lovely. Lovely. Please tell me the rumors are not true that Charles wants to reconcile with Harry. I cannot beat it. Okay. Well, we're mostly hearing that it's Harry and Meghan that want to reconcile with Charles, and the objective there would be to win back public opinion. People are so over them. So I think that it's more along the lines of Charles having a sweetheart, but Harry and Meghan sing. I also think Harry's crazy lonely here. You know, like if you think, I know Crown is a scripted drama. It is not the real world. But there's a scene at Christmas time where one of the castles, Sandringham, I'm assuming, is full of people with Harry and Meghan, or I'm sorry, with Harry there, young William there. William, I believe, is pining over Kate because he's still in school, uni. And but the house is full and everybody's playing games and it's Christmas time. And I was watching that scene yesterday thinking, you know, Harry's gone from a castle full of cousins, a castle full of laughter and games and delicious foods and just joy, to a 16 bathroom home with like 4 people in it during the holidays. That's got to be so lonely. I just can't, you know, I'm sure he's loves his babies and his wife and his mother-in-law, but at the same time, like, don't you long for the laughter and embrace and the joy that like other members of your family provide you with sometimes? Sandy sleeps with a fan. Girl, I got you. Yes, I do understand the importance of air movement. I am so far behind. I'm just now reading you guys responding about my fan. I almost want to scroll down, but I don't want to, like, aggressively, but I don't want to miss anything you say. Union Jack sweater. Thank you. Yes. What hair color do I have? I don't know. Probably 6 or 7. Let's be honest. I could go get the box color that I just did my roots with and let you know. But that would take a mighty long dig in the trash can. Okay, Dave, who's an amazing kids author. He wrote the cutest. I think I have the book over there, but I don't want to get up and leave you guys hanging. Asked about the Sussex's Christmas card. Apparently it is out, Dave. You got to go check it out. Check the Google. It's a generic photo that we've seen a million times on every website. Okay, well, Awesome Diva says Rebecca English is a true journalist and not partisan. She tries to report things as they are and let you make a reasonable conclusion. Well, thank you for telling me that. Oh, Marcia says that she tries to be more balanced in her assessment of the Sussexes, but Richard Eden doesn't mince words, and I love him for that. Richard Eden is hilarious. If I could just have one beverage with Richard Eden, I think that would complete my 2023. Oh my gosh, I just lost all of the comments. Oh my, I don't even know what to do. Okay. Thank you. Narcissists destroy the family connections to the point of humiliation with whom they are with. I know because it happened. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you, SEJ. Krista from South Africa, thank you so much. Kim Carter, you are savage. Oh, you guys, hello. My dogs are barking. I apologize. All right, Laura just finished watching the last 2 episodes of The Crown. Oh my gosh, I cried remembering she says she cried remembering the Queen's funeral. I cried more often than I thought I should during this last season. I cried during the episode with William trying to heal after his mother's death. I loved the scene in the car where Charles is listening to classical music and then he turns on Natalie Imbruglia's Torn and he looks out and William's like shocked that he's listening to pop music and he goes, "What? Isn't this what you like?" It's so cute. Also, everybody, I just want to remind you that I'm wearing a Happy New Year headband because I was supposed to shoot a New Year's Day special today and they canceled on me. I know they won't, but why can't the royal family sue Meghan and Omid now? That would be awesome. Okay, Bonnie, this is a tough question because there's no proof that there's no tangible proof that Meghan had anything to do with this particular case that we've seen as of yet. And I don't think that the royal family wants to, they call it the Streisand effect here in the States, because there's a man that was mapping out the coast. And he wanted to use a picture of Barbara Streisand's house because it was on the coast, not because it was Barbara. Oh, my head thing's coming off. Not because it was Barbara Streisand's house, but because he was just mapping out the coast for a project. And Barbara Streisand sued him. And then all of a sudden, everybody was talking about Barbara Streisand suing this guy for this picture that she didn't want him to use. And then all of a sudden, this picture was on every news site and was on every television station. And now we all know exactly where Barbara Streisand lives, and we've seen her house. And so when, so they call it the Streisand effect, when you accidentally increase people's knowledge of something you're trying to bury, but you're just drawing more attention to something you want to go away. And so I think if they sued him, anybody sued him, it would increase the attention that people just want to make go away. And Harry himself, and that's what we have to remember. Harry himself, Little, stop it. You're being a heathen right now. I'm sorry if you're hearing my dogs barking. I know you are. He said that it was unconscious bias, that he didn't feel like there was racism in the royal family. Would you guys like to see Rue? He's the one that Little keeps barking at. Come here, Rooster. Rue is my rebel dog. And his brother Little keeps barking at him because he's trying to get the party started in the room. Normally they sleep, but I've been in here for quite some time now telling a very animated mouse story. Sleepy Fox said she cried when Margaret passed away. That was such a great episode. The very end. Oh my gosh. And do you hear the party going on now? Do you hear my dogs? I'm so sorry. They're just ready for me to be done. Yeah, so let's see. Hi, Paul. Thanks so much. Oh my gosh, you're crazy. That's possibly why the king will never relent. William holds a lot of power, and Charles is no fool. He knew his wayward son would be a disaster for the monarchy. I didn't say it. Martina says, does Meghan, Martina says, what if Meghan doesn't want to show the kids because they resemble her dad and have more of the Markle genes than Spencer or Windsor? I truly think Meghan's not showing the kids because I love, somebody said in the comments, this is probably a way for Harry and Meghan to show that they really are protective of the family and that there really are security concerns. But Martina, those babies do look just like Thomas Markle, 100%. From the Netflix series, we saw a lot of Thomas Markle. News guy Kev in the UK made me mad, saying all the Americans will believe the crown to be fact. I think most of us have brains. Hello, Amy, you're right. But also that's because you care about this family, and that's because you care about what's right, fact and fiction. There are a lot of people that just turn on the TV to get lost. They're not invested in the family. They're not invested in the monarchy. And I do think that there are some people that just go, oh, this is real. So I think that that's what he means, but he might have exaggerated it and said, oh, Marnie Marnes. I love my friend Marnie. My friend Marnie and I worked together at an ABC station where I was just the internet girl, and Marnie would always come give me hugs and keep me company as I just set up live streams of presidents talking. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so Awesome Diva says a good book to read on the early years of Charles and Diana and William and Harry as kids is The Housekeeper's Diary by Wendy Berry. I am going to go buy that right now. I love Diana books. Excuse me while I take a picture of that for my next order online. Oh, hi, Ireland. Hello. Oh my gosh. So yes, Jamie Ann is messaging me that Richard Ward Salon. I need to go there the next time I'm in London. Jamie Ann, I followed them not too long ago on Instagram because you bet that is where some of the Middleton women have had their hair done. You bet I am going to go in there the next time I'm in town and say, just make me do my hair like you do those Middleton girls, please. Oh, that book was banned in the UK that's interesting, Bunty McBunface. I think that you're talking about the book Awesome Diva Goddess just referenced. Christopher Anderson's book. Maybe Brothers and Wives. Maybe The King, but probably Brothers and Wives was banned. Whatever book he mentions who the alleged royal you-know-what is, was banned in a different country, because I remember talking about it at the time and them being like, we can't get the book here. So they do that a lot. Oh, okay. P Pacific says, a side note, I want to tell you that I met Princess Diana in Vancouver at the Pan Pacific Hotel, and she was wearing the dress that's up for auction at Julian's auctions this weekend. So sad to see it hanging alone in your recent video. That's so, I cannot believe you saw her for real in that dress. How fantastic. But yes, I mean, first of all, she's so tiny. I can't believe how tiny she was. Very tall, but very, very thin. And I was like, if I buy this dress, first of all, I'm going to have to probably sell a body part. But second of all, that's one of my thighs. I'm only going to get my thigh in that. But it is sad to see those dresses. And I asked the executive director of Julian's, is Christopher Anderson biased towards Harry and Meghan? I haven't talked to him in a while. I'll have to go revisit that. That surprises me. But I asked the executive director of Julian's and the co-founder, Martin Nolan, what people did with those dresses, because I would want to look at it every single day. But apparently people just put them up and then wait 20 years to resell them. How could you have a piece of history like that, something so exquisite and beautiful, and not erect an entire display in your living room for it? I just can't comprehend. Of course, I can't afford any of these things. This is just me scheming. This is just me thinking big. But I cannot imagine just boxing up one of those beautiful pieces of history, one of those. And actually, that's the first time I've ever been so close to something of Diana's that wasn't caged off. And that was the first time that was the second time I ever saw an outfit of hers in real life. The first time was at Kensington Palace. They had one very bland red outfit she wore, and I was so disappointed because it was my first time at Kensington Palace and I wanted it to be a shrine to Diana, and it is not. It wasn't at the time, and this was before the statue in the courtyard, or in the sunken garden. So I was really excited to be around those pieces. Kinsey, do you think Catherine will auction some of her remarkable dresses for charity, or would that be considering copying Diana too much? That would be so brilliant. I would love it if she did that. That's a really good idea. And I don't think it would be copying her too much. MJ, hi, good to see you. Thanks for checking in. I don't think it would be copying her too much, because they've always talked about the Kate effect, the Catherine effect, the Princess of Wales effect. I think that that would be excellent if she were to auction off some of her clothes. Also, I felt a little bit like her looking at something that belonged to Diana. I was like, wow, I feel like Catherine. I'm so close to something that belonged to Diana. How neat. Oh my gosh. Diaries of a Housekeeper banned. It was probably banned, Amy, because there are different rules when it comes. Well, it's like what Omid said. He couldn't include certain things because he didn't want to get sued for them. there might have been some gossip or details in there that she couldn't prove, that there was no tangible evidence of, and lawyers were afraid, or publishers were afraid, to publish it in the UK. Okay. You guys, I think I have to say it's time to go. I love being here with you, but my dogs are so angry at me right now. And I don't know how much more they have in them. Where did Little go? They're changing dog beds. Hi, love your commentary. I saw Diana's dresses when they came to the Queen Mary in Long Beach. I missed that. I would have loved to have seen that. I keep wanting to go to the Queen Mary in Long Beach and check it out. Met Prince Charles and Princess Diana on their first trip to Canada's capital and received a handshake from the king. He had the most blue, sparkling eyes, and Diana was so tall and thin at the time. Diane, how lucky are you? You met the king. Okay, Lisa's asking me the designer of the Union Jack sweater, so hold on. I'm gonna go get it. Don't look at my sweatpants. My dogs are excited that I'm moving. They think it's time to leave. Let me find this sweater. Okay. I'm back. I'm back in action. So this is by Minnie Rose, spelled like Minnie Mouse. But this was next door to it, so I wanted to show you this too. This was last year's not just clothing made in the UK's Christmas sweater. How cute is this? I don't know if they still have it. I hope they still have it. If they do, you should go get one. Their sweaters are all made out of recycled products. Isn't that wild? But I just love it. I wish it was red, but I think it's, supposed to be mourning the Queen's loss, so I get it. But in this, the silver is sparkly. Isn't that great? Just love Christmas sweaters. All right, well, thanks to everyone for coming and saying hi to me. That dress is so 80s. Yeah, that was my caboodle. Everything's falling apart, so I think it's a good time to tell you goodbye. All the things are happening right now. But thanks to everybody that watched, South Africa, Ireland, everyone. I loved seeing you so much. It was so much fun to get to chat to you, or chat with you. And I will see you again soon. I'm glad that my hit canceled, because then I got to spend time with you, everyone. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you again soon. Have a great day.